So myself as a person, I've always had the urge to help people. I just have a kind heart, a caring heart. When I started using meth, I just stopped being the person that I was before I started using. Just neglected my responsibility with my kids, the mother of my kids. My act of using it took me away from them, in and out of prison, in and out of jail. The lack of holding a job. So my wife was on welfare and stuff, so I'd get arrested for non-payment of child support. My oldest buddy just always would tell me that they just want their dad. I think being a man had a big part in it, of not asking for help, because we're supposed to always have it together. But that's when I realized, when I started putting things before my kids and lying to my kids more than to go get high. I wasn't ready to face that problem. For one, I didn't know how. I didn't want to be vulnerable and ask for help, and I was always raised that you don't let people know what's going on within the family, because they can't help you. Only you can help yourself. So when I did go to treatment appointments, I would never be honest with them. I would lie to them about things, and it just prolonged my addiction. Got arrested for a lot of things, assaults, public intoxes, and stuff like that. There was a lot of things that just added up because of my drug use and alcohol use. I'd always tell my probation officer, get the revocation papers ready. It's just a matter of time. I am who I am. This is what I'm going to do. There ain't nothing you can do to change me. I choose to do this. I still wanted to hold on to my reputation that I built up, and the person who I thought I was created to be. But looking back now, that was a way for me to put up a wall to do what I wanted to do, because I didn't know how to get help. And I was scared to reach out for help. Getting clean, I had my mentors and people that were helping me, but I allowed things to creep in my mind, and I just felt like they weren't really out to help me. I mean, they were, but they wanted a part. It was like I was a trophy for them because of who I was and my name in town and stuff. And I allowed that to creep in, and, allowed myself to slide off and go the other way. And as I wanted to be clean and was fully into it, I wasn't doing it solely for myself. I was doing it more for my mom and my kids. And, it just didn't work out. My mom was like the rock of our family. My dad was in and out of prison. But she's always been there, the one that kept our family together. And she just got sick, and she about died a few times and had some strokes. And I remember going to see her all the time, and she could barely talk, because she had strokes, but she would just look at me and shake her head with disgust. She'd know I was high and stuff. And it just started getting old, and I was with her one day, and I just turned to her and asked her, I said, "Mom, you want your son back?" And she said, "Yes, clear as day," the best that I've heard her talk in a long time. And I was done that day. The process started when I was in prison. I started working, doing what I wanted to do when I get out. Because before I'd always be like, "Oh, I'll just wait until I get out." But it never worked. So I started making the changes in there, the way I talked, the way I carried myself. I started living on state pay, started just trying to do what I wanted to do on the streets inside of prison. And that's when the process really started. I started making the changes in prison that carried over when I got out. I think it was just being honest with myself that helped me make it this time. And truly surrendering to my higher power. The trials and tribulations I went through, the struggle, that made it real, that helped me to get to where I'm at now in life. Because I like to use everything in my past in my recovery, you know. So how I was in my past, the evil person, I use that kind of momentum, but in a positive way. You know what I mean? Like I would never back down from a fight in my past, so I'm not going to back down from this fight now. So I go full head to it, you know, the same way as I would when I was in my active using. I just use it in a positive energy now. You know, everybody in my family would say that, you know, my dad was a very strong individual, you know, and he was, but not nowhere as strong as my mom was. You know, my mom raised all of us alone. You know, my dad was in prison and out of prison and stuff, and you know, I think the will and the drive not to give up, you know, I got from my mom. We get from our mom, you know, because she, you know, no matter what the circumstances was or what we were going through, you know, she always made it a little bit better. I want my grandkids now to know that, you know, the right way of living, that you have to work, you have to respect others, and most of all, you have to respect yourself. The lifestyle over in recovery outweighs the lifestyle that we have struggled with in addiction. Change is possible, you know. Living a life that I can be proud of, and my family can be proud of, you know. Fighting that good fight, it's just sharing that hope of recovery that, you know, there's a better life out there than the life that we're living.